The Butel family has been a constant farming presence in the Overbrook area in Osage County, northeast Kansas, for 140 years. That's when Larry Butel's great-great-grandfather purchased the original half-section of farm ground that eventually expanded into Butel Farm Incorporated.
Great-great-grandfather bought the original farmstead, be about 3 miles southwest of here in 1884. He bought a half section over there, and then, they farmed up through me anyway.
Even as a youth, Larry had every intent to take the reins of the farm one day, but the farm crisis of the mid-1980s gave him pause. So upon graduating from Kansas State University with an agricultural mechanization degree in 1987, Larry took a position as a grain merchant with Cargill, based in North Dakota. But once his parents decided to wind down their farming involvement, Larry changed course and in 1988 headed home to take over the family's Century Farm.
And I decided I'd rather be farming, try that. So I came back and Dad pretty much told me, do what you want to do. I got to start making decisions fairly early. Now, granted, I didn't go too far off the norm there for a while, but I ran everything past him. As long as he was living, I always ran major decisions past him, but he pretty much told me to do what I wanted to do from early on. So,
Larry's wife, Boni, has been a certified occupational therapy assistant by trade, educating and assisting physically impaired farmers to allow them to independently operate their farm equipment. But she is also fully involved in Butel Farm itself, while also having homeschooled Larry and Boni's 2 sons, Brock and Gabe. Butel Farm was able to expand in crop acreage and pasture ground over the years, currently operating 1,300 acres of corn and soybeans in rotation and 1,300 acres of hay ground and pasture. They also background or graze over 800 steers during the course of the year.
We just run stocker cattle, so we're always buying and selling. We don't keep cows around through the year or anything. And we used to always just buy sale barn cattle and get them healthy. And then we started buying some off the video that were less bothered because they'd had all their shots and were together. So we've pretty much gone to buying strictly preconditioned, pre-vaccinated calves just because we don't have a lot of labor around here and they're so much less bother. Don't take as much work to get them started and more predictable performance. We're kind of all in and all out instead of just buying them all through the winter. We kind of buy all our fall cattle if we're going to have some through the winter, and then we'll get rid of them and maybe take a trip in January, February, somewhere in there, and then start getting grass cattle again in March, and then grazing through the summer here, and we'll be rid of them by the middle of September usually.
They remain quite progressive in managing both their crop and cattle enterprises, using sophisticated hedging, forward pricing, and contract marketing approaches. Over the years, the Butels have had the opportunity to host young people on their farm, most of them from urban backgrounds, and have involved them in bona fide farming activities. Boni says that it's been gratifying to expose those young folk, and even young adults, to what agriculture is all about.
Individuals that are ages between 10 and almost 30 that we've had on the farm to help out with the working cattle and such. Seeing them in the community and saying, when are we going to come back and work for you again? That to me is success. Just having them, they want to come back and they want to be a part of the farm life. And that's success to me too, is encouraging that younger generation and exposing them to life on the farm and the work that it entails. And them liking it, that's success. So saying, put me on your list.
Yeah.
So we have this list of kiddos that both teenagers and young adults that want to keep coming back.
Additionally, both Larry and Boni are deeply involved in community leadership. Larry serves as board chairman of the Kansas State Bank of Overbrook, as well as the president of the Wakarusa Watershed District and treasurer of the Free State Electric Cooperative. And he's also been in leadership positions with the Regional Farm Cooperative, Kansas Livestock Association, and the Farm Service Agency County Committee. Boni is currently the board chairman of the Overbrook Community Foundation. And both Larry and Boni are active in Gideon's International and Rotary International, the latter affording Larry a cultural exchange trip to India in the late 1990s.
I got to talk to agriculture people over there, and of course they were all with university. And we kept telling them, we want to go to a village and talk to an actual farmer. We did. We stopped somewhere and talked to a guy, and of course we had to have an interpreter. Ask him what their biggest concerns were, and he said it was not weather but water, because it was all irrigated there. Water in the markets was his problem, and in Kansas that's pretty much universal.
Their extensive community involvement continues, a multi-generational Butel family tradition. Larry and Boni have endured and thrived amidst the conventional challenges of agricultural production. As for their advice to the next generation of farmers,
your heart's got to be in it, I think, because every day's not rosy and sometimes goes better than others. So you got to enjoy it. You got to look forward to doing it, or else you're not in the right line of work. Keep optimistic. No, it isn't always going to work out, but over time it probably will. And remember, God above has way more to do with the crop than you do.
Larry and Boni Butel, Kansas Master Farm Family, Class of 2024.